Dangal greetings everyone. My name is Kenneth and Victoria, and I'm one of the representative of the group to present our project. So our project is mainly about enrollment system of a university, and this project or system was assigned for us to make an enrollment system using the principles of OOP. For example, the class relationship and polymorphism, and especially the abstraction. But not just that three principles of OOP that we need to implement in our system. We also implement other requirements of the system, for example, of having the ability to have a crude system on our enrollment system. So with a crude system, we are able to make our data or list of objects to make it dynamically. So what is dynamic? So dynamically is we are able, or the user was able to edit the list of object, whether what is the value of it, or what is the name of that object, or what is the placement of that object. So everything is dynamic, so it change, or the user can change everything, or the admin can change everything. And that was the main goal that we aim as we create this system. We also implement those three important OOP principle, which is the relationship of the classes, and polymorphism, and especially is the abstraction. Those three are the main lessons that we have tackled for the finals, and now we're able to apply it on our system of enrollment system. So we'll have a quick review of the system. So our system is an enrollment system that has two users. Yes, we have two users, which is dedicated on our program or system or code, that the parent class is a person that has two subclasses, which is the two users. So the first class is, or first subclass, which is the student class or the student user, and the second one is the admin or the admin user. So we have two users. The two users was able to register their account and log in their account also, and those two users have designated menu driven. So as we all know, in the real enrollment system, the menu driven of the student and admin are not in the same place. They have both significant places to access their own menu driven or options to edit or to access the system. So after the user or the admin or student to log in or to register and log in their account, they were able to access their own menu driven, which is for the student. The student can allow to view available subjects that he can enroll with, or course subject that he can enroll, and also he can also drop the course or the course subject that he enrolled with, and that presents the crude functionality where he can remove his enrolled subject on the list, so he can change it, and it shows dynamic changes. So not just that he can remove or view the subjects, he can also add or enroll to a specific subject that presented on the array list of the course subjects, and also he can view his presented enrolled subject on his account. He can also review some of the information of his account, and that's all. So the user was able to present a crude system or crude functionality on the menu driven of the student or the student menu to assess or access everything data to make it dynamically changing. And the next part is the admin user. So the admin user, same likewise, they have also own menu driven. Also, when in menu driven of the admin, they have a lot of options that they can choose on their own menu driven. For example, the admins that assess or controls the enrollment system, they can add manually the students on the list, and they can also add the subject, which can be accessible to the student user's account. And not just all, they can also remove a student on the list. Since they were admin, they were able to do that in order to remove a student on the list or on the specific system. They were also able, the admin was able to remove an subject on the list, which is once the admin remove a subject on the list, all the subject or that subject was going to be removed to all data or the all student that has that subject. So it really changed. So it was dynamically changing over all of the data inside of our enrollment system. And not just all. The admin user can also view everything of the subject that has available on the enrollment system, and they can also view the available student enrolled and their specific enrolled subjects. And that's not all. Also, this admin was able to have the generation of report, which appears the all of data inside of the enrollment system and along with the value of the student enrolled in the system and also the value of the subjects and listed with the on the list, and that makes the generator of report make it more realistic, and that with that functionalities of our enrollment system, we are able to create an fully dynamically enrollment system that has their own crude system on the menu of the student and the menu of the admin. And that's all of our overall quick preview. And the next part will be the part by part explanation inside of the program code of our enrollment system. That's all. Thank you. Dangal greetings again, once again. My name is Kenneth and Victoria, and I am here to present or to explain what are the three major OOP principles that we implemented on our system, which is the class relationships, polymorphism, and abstraction. First, on class relationship, as we all know, inheritance. We implement inheritance on our system by having the parent class of person, which is the person class, and there are two subclasses, which is the child classes, is the student class and the admin class. Both student and admin uses the attributes or some of the data implemented or declared on the person class, which is the string ID and string name and also the password. So since both of student and admin uses those data in order to log in or to register on the enrollment system, that is how things functions and how the subclass or the child classes uses those data in order for them to get it on the list of objects of those two child classes. And the next part is association of how the student and admin works differently on accessing or on using the functionality upon accessing the course. So as we all know, the student menu has a different way of accessing the course in adding the course or enrolling the course or in dropping the course, while also the admin has also have their own way but yet connected association, as the admin also has the access to modify the courses inside of the system, which is adding a course subject, which is also removing a course subject. That's how the association, those two child classes accessing the data or how the data is manipulated inside of our enrollment system. And the next part is the polymorphism, which is we uses the method overriding on the display info. As you all know, that display info is presented on the parent class, and it was declared there and being used by the student or the child class student and child class admin, which is they have their own different implementation upon calling that display info. As you all know, they have different way or different own data that is being info or displayed in the display info method. And the last part is the abstraction. So we also have abstraction, since the person Java class is the parent class, is also an abstract class, which is the abstract class contains the abstract method display info that being used by the subclasses of the abstract class, which is the student and the admin Java classes. And that is how also connected on how they implement their own implementation of functionality to display such information or such data of each classes. So it presents displaying the student info and displaying the student or the admin info of admin. And that's all. Thank you. And that is the three major OOP principles that we have on our enrollment system.
So greetings, I'm Hiezel Mae Castillo, and here we have the abstract parent class, which is the person class. It contains the basic login attribute credential of a specific entity. And as you can see in our program, we use the attribute ID as a string data type for the searching method. Then the password as a string data type for the key attribute when logging into the access the information to the student or user. And the name with string data type of a storage of the name of the students or admin. We have here the constructor that have parameter ID as the string data type and password as a string. The constructor set the value of each attribute except the name. The methods used in this class are the getter method of each attribute and display info. An abstract method will be used in the child class. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, I am Nicolai B. Alonzo, and I will explain what the admin class and student class has to do with the program. The admin class is a child class of the user class which is abstracted. This class functions as the admin system in which the user can change a student object's name, update students list, find student, and etc. In here, we only used only one attribute as the name with the data type string. We also have a constructor which takes the parameter ID name and password for a user. The constructor sets the name, ID, and password of the admin whenever the user registers an account. We have getter and setter methods which will be used for checking account in the login features. An overridden method that displays the user's info. a method that finds student within the list using the ID of the student, and also it updates the names of the said student. Another method which finds a student by using its ID within the list. Method which finds the course subject by its ID and change its name accordingly. This method consists a code which will find the course and updates the name if found. Mm, Another method that finds a course within the list using an ID input. A method that adds a course subject and sets its informations. A method that displays list students enrolled within the subject. Here's another method that displays all information of the enrolled student and registered subject, and displays a list of all basic informations of a student. A method which is used to display a list of all enrolled subjects. A method that is used for adding a student using admin control. Removing student and removing course is also a function or method used in this class. And lastly, the method that displays a list of registered students. Student class. The student class is a child class of the user parent class, which is also abstracted. The class fields used in this class is a list of enrolled courses or enrolled courses, ID as a string data type, password, and name. We, we used here the constructor that takes the credentials and information of a student, such as the ID, name, and the password. We have getter and setters for the name, a method that retrieves and returns the list of enrolled subjects, method that implement logic to remove an enrolled subject or subject, a method that displays info, a method to update a username of account, a method that displays all enrolled subject courses, a method to handle enrolling to specific subjects. In this method, the enroll course, it uses the algorithm for loop to check the courses. If a certain it checks through the list of the courses in order to know if a certain course exists. And then we have the method to allow students to drop their enrolled subjects or to remove their account from the list. And lastly, a method to display all available course subjects to enroll with.
Dangal greetings, good afternoon. I am J. Caylas. I'm going to represent the Java program that manage a login system for both students and administrators. It is offers separate functionalities for student login and admin login. The student login method fronts the user into their student ID and password, and then validates this credential against in the list of registered students. If the provide credential match, the system grants access by displaying a success message and direct the user to student-specific menu. Otherwise, invalid credential messages displayed. The admin login method handles the authentication for administrators. It is for us an admin ID and password, and then check if the entered credential match and is stored admin credential. If the credentials are verified, an admin login successful, a message is shown and it redirect to an admin specific menu. If the credentials are incorrect, an invalid credential message is displayed. We have the two utilities methods. First one, find student by ID. It is search for student in the list of the student based on their ID. Second is find an admin by ID. Check if the provided admin ID exists within the list of admin credentials. In the handle login menu, method displays a login menu presenting option for us to choose from either student login or admin login based on the user selections. It records the uh, respective login methods. This Java program provides a basic yet functional login system distinguishing between a student and an administrator. It is demonstrate the use of lists and user input handling, credential verification, and menu-based navigation in console applications. In this program, you can provide any idea.
So good day guys, it's me again, Althea F, and I'm going to show you this register class naman. So let's start with this part. This section declares the register class and includes two static variables, which is the student ID counter and admin ID counter. That will be used to generate unique IDs for students and admins. So next naman is next part. The handle registration method is responsible for handling registration process for both students and admins. It display a menu prompting to user to choose between registering as a student or an admin. Ano namang itong switch with case to and hanggang default. This part of the code uses a switch statement to handle the user's choice. If the user chooses to register as a student, which is the case 1, it prompts for the student's name and password and calls the register student method. If the user chooses to register as an admin, which is the case 2, it prompts for the admin's name and password and calls the register admin method. The default case handles an invalid choice. Next. The register student method is responsible for registering a student. It generates a unique student ID using student ID counter, creates a new student object with the provided name, password, and generated ID, adds the student to the list of students, and prints a success message along with the assigned student ID. Next, itong last part. Ang explanation nito is the register admin method is responsible for registering an admin. It generates a unique admin ID using admin ID counter. Next, checks if the generated admin ID already exists in the admin credentials list. If the admin ID already exists, it prints an error message. Otherwise, it adds the admin credentials to the list and prints a success message along with the assigned admin ID. In summary, this code implements a registration system for students and admins, assigning unique IDs and handling the registration process for each. That's all.
Hi, I am Mariel Danica and I will be explaining the course class. Course class is used to create an object which is connected to the real-life scenario where courses can be assigned to every student. Course class is used in this program for creating an object that has a name and code for the course. and the objects created can be enlisted to the list of courses of every student. This class contains the attributes course code, which is a string, and the course name as a string also. The class only contains the constructor that initialized the value of attributes, and the setter and the getter methods for the accessing the private attributes. That's all.
Good day everyone, this is Althea F, Gaerlan, and I'm going to show you this class which is the admin menu class. So start tayo dito sa first line. That line is called import statements. This line imports the list, interface, and other classes from the java.util package including scanner. This one is yung class declaration. The class admin menu is declared as public. It contains methods to display an administration control panel menu and handle different options. Ito naman yung display menu method. This method takes two parameters, list of students and courses, and display a menu-driven interface for administrators to perform various operations. It uses a scanner for user input in a while-through loop. The menu options include add, read, update, delete, generate report, and log out. A switch statement directs the program based on the user's choice. Ito naman yung mga switch cases ng display menu. The case 1 is the add options. Calls the add options method. Case 2 yung read options. Calls the read options method. Case 3, update options. Calls the update options method. Case 4, delete options. Call the delete options method. Case 5, calls a static method admin that generates student report with the list of students and courses. Case 6, prints a logout message and returns from the method. The default prints an error message for an invalid choice. Ito naman yung method to call an add option. So this one is the method to call on add option. Ang purpose nito is to display the add menu, allowing the administrator to add a student or course. Case 1 calls admin.addStudent to add a new student. Case 2 calls admin.addCourse subject to add a new course. And syempre, yun the default to print an error message for invalid choice. Ito naman yung read option. Read options, ang purpose nito is to display the read menu, allowing the administrator to view informations. Ang case 1 naman nito is to call admin that displays students course to view students information. Ang case 2 nito calls admin that display courses to view course information. Ang default naman nito is nagpiprint ng error message for an invalid choice. Same din naman ng sa update option. Ang purpose ng update options method displays the update menu, allowing the administrator to update student or course information. Ang case 1 nito ay calls admin that update students to update student information. Case 2 calls admin that update courses to update course information. Default naman is to print error message for invalid choice ulit. Punta na tayo sa delete option. Ang delete option, ang purpose nito is display the delete menu, allowing the administrator to remove a student or course. Ang case 1 naman nito calls admin that removes students to remove a student. Case 2 calls admin that remove course students, courses to remove a course. Then, default default ulit to print an error message for an invalid choice. Note lang for this, ang each method starts by creating a new object, scanner object allowing the user to input their choice. After taking the user's choice, there is scanner.nextLine to consume the new line, ensuring the next input is not affected. The methods then use a switch statement to determine the action based on the user's choice, calling appropriate methods from the admin. Then lastly, the default case handles situations where the user enters an invalid choice. That's all. Thank you. Good day, everyone. I'm Althea F, and I'm going to show you the student menu. First one, import java.util. Importing the java.util package including classes like scanner and list. Then ito tayo sa ito yung class natin. Public class student menu, declaration of the student menu class. Ito naman, public static void display menu, student, list, courses, declaration of the display menu method, which takes a student object and the list of course object as parameters. Ito naman, next. Creating a scanner object to read the user input. Ito naman, well, starting an infinite loop for displaying the menu until the user chooses to log out. Ito naman ang ating menu. Printing the menu options using system.out.println. Itong in choice scanner next in, reading the user's choice as an integer. Then yung next niyan, itong next line. Ito yung nagko-consume ng new line character para hindi magkaroon ng issues with subsequent input. Next natin itong switch. Using switch statement to execute different actions based on a user's choice. Ito naman ang ating mga cases. Ang case number 1 natin when the user enters 1, this case is executed. It calls the display enrolled courses method of the student class, passing the student object of the list courses. This method is expected to display the subjects in which the student is currently enrolled. Case 2, when the user enters 2, this case is executed. It calls the enroll course method of the student class, passing the student objects of the list of courses. This method is expected to handle the process of enrolling the student in a new subject. Case number 3, this method is expected to handle the process of grabbing a subject from the list of subjects in which the student is enrolled. Case number 4, this method is expected to handle the process of updating the name of the student. Case number 5, this method is expected to display all available course subjects that the student can potentially enroll in. Case number 6, this method is expected to display general information about the student. Case number 7, the return statement exits the loop, effectively ending the method. This is the default case, which is executed when the user enters a value not covered by the other cases. It prints an error message indicating that the choice is invalid. That's all.
This time, I will be discussing the main class that serves as the entry point of the code. We have a tree list. First is the student list, which is stores student objects. Second is the courses list that stores the course object. And lastly, the admin credential list that stores all about the admin into string data type. A menu is shown which the user can choose they want to do. the user will press or enter 1 for login, 2 for register, 3 for how to enroll, and 4 to exit the program. We use the switch case statement to execute the choice input by the user. Case 1. If the user enter 1 and the notation to call the method handle log in a menu is the login class. Case 2. If the user enter 2 and the not to call the method handle registration of the register class. Case 3. If the user entered 3 and calling the display enrollment, which is the class and only display the step on how to enroll. And last, case 4, if the user enter 4 and this just exit the program. That's all in the menu.